one of the first individuals in Delaware County that I reached out to help me when I decided to run for county council. It was Ken Hemphill. And I look at Ken, an activist, who, along with a handful of other activists, built an organization as effective as Marple Greenspace. I say, how were they so effective? This is not a partisan organization. This is an organization that's mostly made up of Republicans. So how did Ken and his colleagues at Save Marple Greenspace take on a very powerful developer? Actually, a number. This isn't the first developer. You had another developer before that wanted to develop, in addition to an oversized shopping center that is unneeded and that would exacerbate the problems of congestion and traffic and air pollution, as Ken said, in the area, but also cut down about 165 or so acres of old-growth forest, the last forest of its kind in Delaware County. So how did this group of mostly Republican residents form a group that took on these developers, one developer after another, that put together these monstrous plans to cut down those trees and put in oversized developments that would decrease our property values because they would diminish our quality of life by increasing congestion and decreasing the air quality in the area, and by the way, increase the flooding problem that we already have in Delaware County. When you cut down any trees, you cut down the amount of absorption that the soil has, and more runoff occurs, and we have a tremendous problem in Delaware County with flooding, and that would be exacerbated by the development plans at the Delaware School. So how did this group, both Republicans and Democrats, working together in Marple Township, how did they take on these developers? Well, first of all, they had hope. They had hope that they had a message that they believed strongly in, and they had a hope that people would listen and people would get involved. And so they took that message that, hey, if we save open space, it increases, it improves our quality of life. So even a Republican who is pro-development, pro-business, can understand that. Saving open space improves our quality of life. How does it do that? It decreases traffic congestion. Who likes sitting in traffic jams? Democrats don't like sitting in traffic jams, and Republicans don't like sitting in traffic jams. It's kind of a universal dislike to traffic jams. Well, we have a lot of traffic jams in Delaware County, and it increases our stress, it increases traffic accidents, it decreases and diminishes our quality of life. So if we improve and decrease overdevelopment, and we save the last vestiges of open space in our county, will improve our quality of life by diminishing traffic congestion. And if we do that, in conjunction with that, we decrease our flooding problems. On one of the meetings that we spoke together at Marple Planning Commission, I believe it was August 18th, maybe it was August 13th, there was a tremendous rainfall that day, I remember that. And in the next day's newspaper, I read that 6 feet of water, 4 to 6 feet of water, was flooding businesses in Upper Darby and in Darby Township. So you have already, with 165 acres or so of Donguanella forest there now, you have this flooding. Imagine what it would be like if we cut down those forests and developed on those steep slopes, and we developed along the banks and in the floodplains of Darby Creek. It would get worse. It would exacerbate the problem of flooding. So flooding decreases our quality of life. Flooding problems decrease our property values. So if you decrease flooding problems and you decrease traffic problems, you improve our quality of life. Republicans and Democrats understand that argument. You don't have to talk about the climate change debate, that cutting down trees will improve our battle and our chances of saving the planet. You don't have to get to that level of science and debate. You can just talk about quality of life here in Delaware County, and you'll have a bipartisan group, as Ken said, that are in favor of open space preservation, and they're willing to pay for it. So as a county council member, I will be a strong voice for open space preservation. I'll be a strong voice for using state and federal funds and grants from private foundations to fund the preservation of open space that we have left here in Delaware County, to protect it from overdevelopment. There should not be any development in floodplains. There should not be development on steep slopes. There should not be development of wetlands. There is science to back up that causes flooding and that causes water pollution. So that has to be enforced at the township level and at the county level. And as a county council member, I will be a strong voice for open space preservation in Delaware County. Thank you very much.